Well, the United States wielded its veto power once more at the Security Council on Tuesday, blocking a ceasefire resolution, asserting that the proposed resolution from Algeria could jeopardize delicate negotiations in Cairo working towards a sustainable peace. This move has garnered criticism from Council members, while Algeria has reaffirmed its commitment to advocating for an immediate ceasefire. DD India's correspondent Jody Jacobs provides details from the United Nations.
13 members voted in favor, the United Kingdom abstained, and the US vetoed the resolution, which means the document failed to be adopted. Linda Thomas-Greenfield, the US ambassador to the United Nations, said that her country vetoed the resolution over concerns that it would jeopardize talks between the US, Egypt, Israel, and Qatar that seeks to broker a pause in the war and the release of hostages held by Hamas.
Proceeding with a vote today was wishful and irresponsible. And so while we cannot support a resolution that would put sensitive negotiations in jeopardy,
several council members have criticized the United States' use of the veto, with China saying this sends the wrong message and pushes Gaza further into crisis at a time when Palestinians are struggling on the brink of death. Russia says Washington continues to provide Israel with a license to kill. Algeria, who drafted the resolution, has told the council members that it will not stop until the body shoulders its responsibility and imposes an immediate ceasefire. The Palestinian ambassador to the United Nations questioned when the Security Council would finally act to demand the ceasefire that the vast majority of the world wants to see, while Israel says calling for a ceasefire just further empowers Hamas. The United States has now proposed a separate resolution that calls for a temporary ceasefire.
there were a number of other issues with that resolution. Not recognize Israel's right to self-defense, which is a right that Israel has. And there were other issues with that particular resolution. So we think it should be reflected in a resolution, even a humanitarian resolution.
As well as opposing a major ground offensive by Israel in Rafah. Until now, Washington has been averse to use the word ceasefire in any of its UN action. A date for this vote is still to be determined. Meanwhile, the United Nations Secretary General has repeated his calls for a humanitarian ceasefire, with the body's aid agency UNRWA saying that the number of trucks entering Gaza remains well below its target of 500 per day, and it's battling to keep up with the humanitarian needs on the ground. Jody Jacobs at the United Nations in New York, reporting for DD India.